The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
And welcome to City Talk. I'm About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host. And I'm at the National Automobile Museum with my sassy soul sister, Yvonne Murphy.
Yes, I am here.
Are you in the house?
I'm in the house.
Thank you. It's been like, we only get to see you like once a month.
I know, we got to fix that.
So we're going to fix that and we're going to catch up. But first, we're going to thank our sponsors.
Yes,
and then we're going to just kind of keep it real today.
Okay.
So Crystal Basin, Home NV, Family Hope Project, Wild River Grille, and Surratt Law Practice. And of course, Dee Dee James for my cute little theme song. And if anybody wants a sponsor getting that produced, I would love it. And Caliber Hair and Makeup. So those are our sponsors. And again, we're at the National Automobile Museum,
yes,
downtown Reno by the river. So normally I say a little bit about my weekend.
Yes.
And I hope everybody had a nice Memorial Day weekend.
Very cold.
It was, does that happens, doesn't it?
It
It's like
happens.
everybody wants to go camping.
Yes, it happens.
Well, I don't want to go camping unless I'm camping in something like not on the dirt.
Luxury.
I want luxury camping
Yeah.
if I'm going to go. But I was lucky enough. I have a group of friends who we have known for many years. And they said, hey, Deb, let's go to Amador. So we did a little mini About Town Deb / Friends wine tour. So normally we're in El Dorado County or in the Fairplay Carson Road. We started out in Amador and then we went to Fairplay and then we did a pit stop at Crystal Basin, and then we went to Nello's, and Nello has a new beverage, which is called Cali Mojo.
Wow.
And it's a sparkling seltzer with Tempranillo wine, like really good Tempranillo wine.
Okay.
And then they make their own version of a cola with ginger and vanilla and other secret.
That sounds yummy.
And it's sparkling. And it's just lit. It's in a can and it's in this cool can that reminds you of summer and fun. So we did a little work on that. So I did a little bit of work as play and then came home and went to a barbecue yesterday with friends. So I actually took the day off and then I stayed up late doing the videos from everything I did. How was your weekend?
My weekend was wonderful. Thanks for asking. Very cold. I didn't do anything that exciting, but I did go out to Montreux and had the Memorial Day brunch with some of the residents, and it was quite lovely. I think I ate too much. The traditional chicken, pulled pork, coleslaw.
Do they have potato
the beans,
salad?
Potato salad, peach cobbler, vanilla ice cream.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, kind of hard to be on a diet when
they
that's
had
the menu.
it all.
Right, so it was quite lovely. So I enjoyed that time, but it was a peaceful, quiet weekend.
I had we got back on Sunday. So when I got back after being gone, I was like, I'm not doing anything. No. I needed to just decompress. But then it was just really nice to go to a barbecue with friends, even though it was cold and I wasn't in charge. I love it when I just get to go and I don't have to plan. I just can go and I could visit and I could help do dishes, but I don't have to worry about what's everybody bringing. They just tell me what to bring. So if you're out there, if you're like me, please give us a holler. I'm always looking for really easy things to take because I'm not a big cooking kind of girl.
Yes. I like a charcuterie board because it's easy. You got cheese and grapes, olives, some crostinis, maybe a fig spread. That's easy to make and easy to do.
I'll tell you what I made.
Tell me.
I got cherry tomatoes. I cut them in half, fresh basil, chopped it up, the mozzarella, cheese.
Watch out.
Little squares.
Sounds good.
Put them in. Avocado.
Wow.
Little squares. And red onion, little squares. And you added like the coarse salt and pepper.
Yes.
And then I mixed it together and I put it, because I had a little gap between the time I made it and we were going to leave. So I put it in the freezer just for a little bit to make it really cold, but not frozen.
Right.
And I took it and then they had some balsamic vinegar. So we put a little bit like with a spoon so that you can drizzle. Otherwise it might get too soggy.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, there was only one little scoop left.
So it sounds like a caprese salad without the lettuce.
Yes.
Yes, that's very cool.
It's what it was.
That's lovely.
So
I like it.
That is my new to-go thing.
Okay, that's a good to-go thing.
And the other version, in case you want the version that I was supposed to make was, and I looked at the photo and I didn't get it right. It was the tomatoes. It was corn, but you had to buy the corn and boil it and cut it off. So that was another step I didn't want to do. Yeah. And it was cilantro and the red onions. And just the but
that avocado. Would also be good.
So it depends on. I figured if I was going to like a Cinco de Mayo or going to where we were having margaritas, I will make that.
Yes,
but that reminds me of a salsa, though, doesn't it? Salsa.
I feel like I need a chip with that, like something to scoop it up.
It would be more like a dip versus more like a salad.
Yes.
So anyway, so that was.
Both.
I might do both. I'm just happy I actually brought something in a bowl. Normally I show up with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's my technique.
That is my thing. But this time I don't know. I feel like I've been going to their house so long that I need to like pitch in. I mean, I need to bring food. I mean, I do dishes, but I thought I'm obviously the only one that doesn't have a dish to share out there.
Yes.
So anyways, that's my go. That's my go-to. So we haven't chatted in a while.
Yes.
And I know when we get to our next segment, I want to talk about women and men when you get to a certain age.
Yes.
Let's say 60 plus, okay? Sure. 60 plus. I'm 63. You know, you're in that, either you're widowed or you're divorced or you've been single forever and you think, gosh, darn it. Like, is it ever going to happen? I mean, I'm good. Should I just stay single? And then all of a sudden I've had quite a few friends lately, male and female, who randomly, they were like, I'm done.
Yes.
And their man or woman of their dreams just walked in the darn door.
I think that's the way it happens. It's that old adage that when you're not looking for it or thinking about it, you just get blindsided. It's so beautiful. We will talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So if you're listening, I know if you're listening, you are listening.
Hello.
We want you to think about the last time when you were like, hey, I done dating. I'm okay. I'm good at being single. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. I got tons of friends. And then all of a sudden, pop, somebody walks in your life and you didn't expect it.
It's intentional, it's mindful, and it's a beautiful thing.
So it's just about time for a break. And we come back, we're going to share what that's like. And if you do have that somebody special who pops in, is it okay to just go for it?
It is. So let's talk about it.
So it's About Town Deb with City Talk with Yvonne, my sassy soul sister. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock
rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I'm About Town Deb, your host at the National Automobile Museum, downtown Reno, with my special co-host, Sassy Soul Sister Yvonne Murphy, in the house.
I'm in the house and really excited to talk about love.
Let's talk about it.
Tell me more about your friends. What's happening?
Okay. Well, I don't know. She just we were out there and this gentleman walked in, and I got to tell you, they just had this
chemistry
connection.
Yeah.
And I was looking going, whoa, what is happening with you? And just to see the energy and the happiness and the excitement.
Yes.
And I feel like we all get in those ruts where, or we're afraid, or, we feel that and think, is it okay that I feel this way? Is this weird? Is it right? Is it okay? And then you think, am I too old to be feeling like this? Is it too soon to go? What's the rules when you're over 60 compared to when you're 17, 18 to 25? So let's talk about not the rules, but the common on dating.
So I think there is a matrix. I think when you're younger, it is a different set. It's a different paradigm because you meet and you need to get to know each other. More importantly, you need to know yourself. So when you're younger, I think there's a different set of rules. You date a while and then you get engaged and you have a traditional wedding, and all that's appropriate in your 20s and maybe 30s. But there's no question that by the time you even hit 40, it's a different situation. You may have children. You may be divorced. Sadly, you could be widowed. You've got all these different things going on in your life. And so I think two things, and I can speak for my situation. And the gentleman in my life, we came up with something early that just fits for the both of us. We're not asking your permission and we're not asking for your approval. At 65 years old, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I need. I know what my circumstances are. And quite frankly, Father Time is not kind to us. The clock is ticking. So do you date a year when you're 65? And then you're engaged for 6 months. So now you're 67 or pushing 70 by the time you pull the plug. I think when you're older, it's different. So again, for me, not asking permission, not asking approval. And I'm that kind of person that we can be talking right now, City Talk Live with my homegirl. And by the next City Talk, I could say, oh, by the way, and my husband told me to tell you hello.
I know.
Okay, because that's just the way we roll. I do think it's different, though. And I do think when you're in your 60s, you're probably afraid. But the truth of the matter is, I don't believe it when people say, I don't want anybody. It's just too much work and too much trouble. I don't think we were designed to be alone. I think it's a relational situation. And I think everybody wants companionship. Nobody wants to spend the holidays alone. No one wants to be alone. Many of us went through COVID alone. What a nightmare. The idea that something could happen and there wouldn't even be a person in the house to pick up the phone and call for help. So I think for me, I might be one of these people you're talking about that, later in life, love has found me again. Thank you, God. And having butterflies at 65 and walking around and blushing, it is amazing. But we all want to be loved. That's the truth of the matter. I think that's both male and female. And I think it's beautiful if you can find, I'm not necessarily sure there's a such thing as a soulmate. I think to all things, there's a season. For the season that I'm in my life at this point, yeah, I can't fathom how this didn't happen to me sooner. But yeah, I think there is someone for everyone. And I think love is beautiful. And I always say to people, if I've been this good single, or in my case, widowed, imagine how fabulous I am when I'm happy and love. And it just brings a whole new dimension to your life. You're happier and you're kinder and you're just full of possibility, and you're like a schoolgirl at 65 and it's very cute. But tell me more about your friend. So she met this guy.
No, she met this guy, and it's they've been hanging out, going out, getting to know each other. And it's that feeling of, do I trust my feelings? Do I go? Do I open up? And I'm like, you know what? You only live once. We're at that age. If you guys both feel the feelings, you need to let go and you need to experience it and see, is this real? Let's do it. Let's hang out. You got to get to know each other. Friends, I think,
yes.
You have to take it slow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, take it slow as in, you don't want to, I don't think you should mix the physical contact too much in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because then you had also said, it makes it more about that than about who you are.
You got to take a lot.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
And I know sometimes that's really hard to do because you get wrapped up in the emotion of this excitement in that first kiss and, oh my gosh. But then you have to, kind of sit back and go, okay, settle down. And then start like, hello, I'm Deb.
Yes.
And you are. And then kind of just take a step back and then go forward again.
Right. I read a quote that really helped me transform my thinking. And it said, the reason that we should be in a relationship is because we need someone to witness our lives.
Yes.
And so,
I love how you
when
said that.
when you think of what happened during COVID, it wasn't about age. People were here one day and then gone. It's not, leaving this earth isn't about age. It can happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere. So at the end of the day, each day is precious for all of us. And we all want someone to witness our lives and to validate our existence. And so partnership, collaboration, commitment, I think it's important. And I also think it's healthy for your mental health.
Oh, I definitely
I don't think it's
so.
healthy to be isolated and to be alone.
I totally
Because with the best of friends, with the best of intentions, you're going to still have great periods of time when you're alone.
That is so true.
And it's not healthy.
Now here, I just pulled some quotes because we changed our format today, what we're going to chat about. So this is it can kind of fit.
Okay.
Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts. Doesn't that kind of go with it?
It does.
So I feel like we don't know.
We don't.
You saw that. I'm with COVID and with life.
With life.
We really don't know. So
Correct.
I feel like I'm at that 63 age. If there was somebody really special and we both felt like, wow, like we have the same values, we like the same things. We love the same food. We just care about our family and our friends, and it works. I'm thinking that you need to get that ice cream and get going on it because we don't know how long we have. And if you can have, I don't know if there's a saying, but if you can have 6 months, a week, a year with somebody super special, that you will have that feeling of your heart being full just for that time. And you never have it again. How cool would it be to say, I had that?
Yeah, for sure.
I had that love.
For sure.
And I know we're all searching, whether it's whatever kind, man, women, whatever. I think you are right. We can all say, hey, I'm good being single. And maybe we are at the moment. But at the end, you kind of do want somebody to just kind of like hold your hand.
Yeah, I think it's really important and we underestimate it. And at the end of the day, there's plenty of things on the news and in the world to make you sad. But if there's someone that brings a smile to your face, that makes your heart go pitter patter, I know that sounds old fashioned, butterflies in your tummy, I think that's a good thing. So I'm blessed. I do think it's important to find someone though that you have a common theme with.
Yes.
Ideally close in age so that things that are relevant to you are relevant to them.
Speaking of close in age.
Yes.
So how do you feel about like if they're 15 years younger?
Okay, so you're talking about that May, September type of relationship.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky thing because...
Or 20 years younger. I've seen that happen.
Okay, it could...
Or older,
20 younger, 20 older could work. for
a season.
But it's nice to have a conversation where you say, remember when we were kids, such and such on TV.
No,
remember this celebrity. Remember, it's nice to have that commonality. It's also interesting to have someone that you can relate to. You have to have something in common. You can't just be misfits. You have to, you both like Harley Davidson. You both like archery. You both like to jog. You're both runners or golfers.
Well, how about this? How about if you have the chemistry and you get along great and you love people and there's lots of but you don't ski, you don't run, you don't do this.
Then you need to figure out what you can do together.
What you can do, yeah.
Okay, because maybe
you don't want to be
maybe he's a golfer and a hunter and you're not into that. Then maybe you should take archery classes together. Find something you can do together. Maybe he has a Harley Davidson or some kind of bike and you've never been a rider or a passenger. Well, maybe then you get into that. But you got to find something you can do together because you can't sit around looking at each other all day, blinking your eyelashes saying, oh, my darling, I love you so much.
That doesn't last
you
that
can't
long.
spend some time doing that, and I do my fair share of it. But at some point, you got to go to work. At some point, you got to engage with the real world. So I do think you got to find something in common, though. And it can't just be pitter patter, I love you, and this is the most beautiful thing in the world. But then in real day-to-day life, you don't have anything in common. You got to figure that out.
And that doesn't
So you got to do some homework, and it's got to work. And at the end of the day, people are an asset or a liability. So hopefully this person complements your life in such a way that it elevates you to be a better person. And this isn't somebody going to drag you down. You're looking for somebody to lift you up, and he's looking for somebody to lift him up. So,
totally
it's complicated and it's not. But if it's not natural, it's not real. And that sounds like an oxymoron. But whatever it is, there's got to be a real component to it. It's got to flow.
Okay.
It's got to feel good.
Well, did you want to switch it up? It's almost time. Wait, it's almost time for the next break. And I'm thinking that, we talked a little bit about dating and the age thing. Mm-hmm. So I know you're really good at seeing what's happening in the world and movies and this and that and travel. So we come back, we're going to switch it a little bit and we're going to positive. Well, this was positive.
Okay. Because a lot of what's happening in the world right now is edgy, but I do have some positive things.
We can do a little edgy and positive. So it's About Town Deb with City Talk with Sassy Soul Sister Yvonne. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barber Shop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I am About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host, with my co-host, Yvonne Murphy, my sassy soul sister.
Hey, sisters in the house.
The house. We love being in the house. Well, we're actually in the National Automobile Museum's podcast room in Reno, Nevada. And the cool thing is, when we come into the set, we get to see all these cool, amazing classic cars and all kinds of cool stuff.
Thank you for saying that, because my significant other and I toured.
You just said that. Oh my gosh, you just said that. That sounds so crazy.
My significant other, he's so fabulous. Honey, you know I love you.
Oh my gosh.
We toured this building.
You did.
The car collection is to die.
You brought him here?
It's over the top, beautiful, wonderful, crazy. I went to 4 different salons and I saw, luxury in cars didn't start now. You would be amazed at what was in cars in the 30s and 40s, and to watch the progression of the engineering. But we were here for 2 hours. We had a dinner date that night with friends. So he wanted to stay longer. So we had to rush the last hour of it. But it is an amazing property. And if you haven't been here, please come here. I also learned from one of my attorneys that the car collection here used to be almost 10 times larger than it is now. And back in the day, and he was born and raised here, it was stored, the car collection, in a warehouse in Sparks.
Yes.
So he said it was quite extensive, but the car collection we have here is fabulous. And we also have clothing and jewelry and purses and the various accoutrements to match the time frame. It's an amazing car collection.
Pretty cool.
It really is.
Okay, I'm going to get personal since you said you strolled around. Did you hold hands?
Of course.
I'm sorry.
He's so old-fashioned, and he's European, so yes, his manners are a little different than American men. So
when you are walking down the sidewalk, is he on a certain side?
Yeah, he's
by the curb.
He's always by the curb, and he always opens the car door and the restaurant door, and he stands behind my seat when I go to stand up. But he's he was born and raised in Europe, so he's very British and very his manners are very old world.
Ooh.
And I appreciate that, because it's not common. And some of my lady friends have noted when we're leaving their homes or whatever, they're like, oh my God, he's so attentive. And he is. And that's what makes him so handsome and wonderful and beautiful. And anyway.
So I digressed a little bit because I'm so excited for you. So what do you want to share with me?
I was thinking just about, we're moving out of spring into summer, and I'm thinking it's a good time to freshen up your space. And I know people say, well, I don't have the money for that. But you can go to a store like TJ Maxx or Marshall's or Target, and you can buy a few throw pillows. You can change your bedspread out. You can put a couple of house plants in. If you're not good with live plants, you can do silks or a combination of both. Window coverings are something that you can change. But and in some cases, just opening up your blinds and drapes and letting the light in. I think you can freshen up a space with a minimal amount of expense. And I think it makes you feel better, because I know nothing feels better to me than on those days when we can open up the doors and windows and air out the house, and you got clean sheets on the bed, the plants are watered, things are vacuumed, the floor is wiped up. It just makes you feel good about being there. It makes your house a home and a sanctuary. And I think a lot of times, since the world is so crazy and chaotic, it would behoove us to create some sort of sanctuary in your space.
But first, you have to clean up the space before you can open it up. Just
thank
FYI.
you for saying.
I'm just being honest because I've been in a funk. So you don't even want to come in my house.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
I have to put, like, I tell people, okay, you're coming this far. The kitchen's always good.
Okay.
But upstairs.
That's a good point.
No, it's a
good point. We do need to clean up.
But you got to get
And
past
I think for your mental health, I think we can get, like you say, in the funk, a little bit of depression when it's not tidy. So I think if you just kind of clean it up, air it out, and then and sometimes it's just moving things around, maybe moving that love seat to another wall, moving a chair, moving a table, switching a rug. If you can't buy new stuff, switch something from one room to another room.
That's a good idea.
You know, it could be something as simple as some sort of decorative box or statue or vase. Just freshen up your house and move things around. But you're right, it starts with a clean palette. So
yeah, it's the whole clothes thing. I really, you know, my weight has gone up and down, so I've got all these varieties, and you put something on and it ends up on the chair, and then the chair, and now it's like 3 feet high, and you're like, oh, now you're digging out, oh, that doesn't fit. And there's so much stuff that I'm like, I don't even want to touch it.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because that was the next thing on my list. Freshening up your wardrobe.
Yeah.
Adding a pop of color, recreate your style, be daring and bold. But when you're trying on clothes and they no longer fit your body or your station in life, rather than throw it across a chair or throw it in the floor, how about have a box or a plastic basket or a wicker container of some kind, and put those clothes in there, and don't just throw them in there. Just fold it up, not completely perfect, but fold it nicely. So this is your giveaway container. And now you can feel good about it because it might not work for you, but now it can bless someone else. But the idea of just throwing it over a chair, you're just moving junk from one stack to another.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, let's keep it real.
I'm saying that I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
So I've got a stack on a chair. I've got a stack on the side of my bed. So I'm only sleeping on one half of my bed.
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I'm telling you, I'm a mess. I'm keeping it real.
Okay, so let me loop back to love, because what you just said is interesting. So I always think, I had a brother once who broke up with a woman. Well, I have a brother. He's my surviving brother. And he broke up with someone once. And he said it was because he got tired of climbing over stacks of clothes and coming home from a hard day's work to a messy house.
Well, I would never do that.
So for all of my sassy sisters that are looking for love, might I suggest to you that we clean up the space, and that we organize the space, and we make room for him.
You know,
metaphorically speaking, let's make room for him. Like my case, 5 closets of clothes. Okay, that's not acceptable, because what that says to Mr. Wonderful, but he that got corrected quickly, I might add. You got to make room for a person. You can't want someone in your life and not have room for them. So if all the closets are full, there's no room for him. If the room is a hot mess, there's no space for him. You have to make space for people. So cleaning it up, airing it out, reconfiguring it, and making a space for him, metaphorically speaking, so that when he wants to hang up his own jacket, he can actually do that, because there's a hanger and a space to do that.
You know, speaking of space, I'm sure I'm the only one that has the t-shirt drawer of all the t-shirts with all the logos and everything place you've went. And I've got size small, medium, large, and they're all, I have them rolled up really nice and in there really nice, but it's so full that when you pull one out, it's messy. So what if, this is just, maybe I'll be brave enough, take all those t-shirts that I know I'm never going to wear, that are probably up to 20 years old, and have somebody make a quilt with them or make something with them.
You could, and it doesn't even have to be that complicated.
What can I do?
How about just give them away to somebody so that they can have a t-shirt?
No,
what about all the people?
It has memories.
I know, but
my little boy's t-ball.
Okay, but here's
Coach
the
Mom.
But here's the deal. If we're holding our fists closed, you're not letting anything out, but you're also not letting anything in. So how about just give the t-shirts to a person who has nothing?
I agree.
You get to be a blessing to them. Because when you start, this is what we do. We say, oh yeah, we're going to make a quilt out of it. Okay, now we've turned it into another project. Now we're going to make it and it never happens, and the drawer stays full.
Them all over the house.
So how about doing it in numbers?
Okay.
If you have 50 t-shirts, how about saying, 25 is healthy?
Okay.
And I'm going to bless somebody else with the other 25.
I agree. And
just give them to them.
Yes, I think that needs, since I have to go through these 2 huge stacks, maybe that's the time I should do like you said, have the stacks to give away, keep, clean, whatever.
Yes.
And maybe I think I know I would feel so much better.
And the other thing is rather than look at each one and remember when and go down memory lane.
Don't go down memory lane.
I noticed from watching these hoarding shows, they say, oh, they hold up some old piece of a ladder or a piece. Oh, we can't get rid of that. Okay, look. Okay, how about this? All the smalls and mediums.
Get rid of them.
Just get rid of them.
Because I can go to a thrift store and buy a new one.
Yeah, you could. Just get rid of small and medium, keep the large, and you're good to go. So freshening up your wardrobe was my other thing. So this takes me to my next subject, which was create some new habits. How about getting up an hour early and walk? For people who say, I don't have time to go to the gym, well, how about you get out of bed? If not an hour earlier, 30 minutes earlier. Just walk your street to the corner and back.
During COVID,
yes,
I did that. Yes. For 3 months straight, I got up at 5 o'clock and I walked quite a ways and I read inspirational. I mean, I had this whole routine, and by 9 o'clock I was showered and ready to go. And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And I was so much happier. And somehow I'm back to not doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
That's a big deal.
The other one was, how about get off of your computer and actually read a book?
Oh, yes.
When's the last time you read a book?
During COVID.
Okay.
And it was the four, the four agreements?
Yes.
I read 4 different of those and it changed my life. And then somehow the world rolled back in on me.
Okay. So that's a good one.
I need to revisit that book. That'll help.
You're already walking your neighborhood, so that's good. How about doing something nice for someone other than yourself?
Well, I love doing easy. That.
Okay.
That's a good
What
thing.
does that look like? It could be taking dinner to an elderly person in the neighborhood. It could be inviting a friend out for coffee. It could be sharing a yogurt or an ice cream with someone. How about just being nice? For the sake of being nice.
Or just calling
with
a
no
neighbor.
expectation of anything in return. Just being nice.
Or you can call your neighbor and say, hey, I haven't heard, are you okay?
Yes.
I haven't chatted with you. And they're going to go, oh, wow, that's so nice.
Yes,
you checked up on me.
How about sending out some random texts today to 5 people you don't normally text? Really quick before we go to our next segment, I want to talk about Lake Tahoe. I want us to remember that it's a beautiful asset and people come from all over the world to see it. And it's a shame that many of us don't. And it's only an hour.
Right here.
And we live right here. So how about a little hike up in Tahoe, or planning a picnic, or taking out your camera if you have an old school camera and taking some beautiful pictures, or just taking some pictures? And how about going camping?
I love it. So we're going to take a final break.
Take a break.
And we come back. I'm going to let you pick what you want to talk about. And I think this may get a little bumpy. I don't know. Be right back. City Talk, About Town Deb, Yvonne Murphy.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break. at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio, take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town. This is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I'm About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host, with my sassy soul sister Yvonne Murphy in the house.
Hello, I'm in the house.
And I told her she can get a little bumpy.
Yeah, we're going to go a little bumpy.
We're just a little bumpy because life sometimes is bumpy.
So it's not all rainbows and butterflies. And so I was thinking the other day about the lies we tell ourselves, right? And one of the lies that many women tell themselves, and it's probably true of men as well, the weight that's on my driver's license was my weight 30 years ago. So we lie a lot about our weight. And the truth of the matter is you can lie all you want to, but the weight on my driver's license, I would be able to fit into medium. This is not quite the reality. I'm a little more curvaceous than that. And Mr. Wonderful likes all the curves.
I love the word curvaceous.
Yes, I'm very curvaceous. But, we lie about our weight. And so here's the deal. You can't heal what you want acknowledged. So if you're not willing to tell the truth about simple things like your weight, or for my married friends who all pretend like that because they're married, they're happy. Well, we all know, anybody that's ever been married, male and female, know that there's no such thing as happiness every day. There are days when you absolutely think, what in the world was I thinking, right? What in the Sam Tarnation's going on around here?
I love the Sam Tarnation.
Yeah. I have this one friend, we'll call her Jay. And,
hello, Jay.
And she, she's, marriage is just beautiful and blissful and everything is great and wonderful. And you know what? That's not true. And it's not true for a lot of reasons. It's not true because you're lying to yourself. And it's not true because you're not teaching younger generations who look at us and mirror our behavior. You don't want young people to think that marriage is all rainbows and butterflies. It's work and it's a participatory process and everybody has to contribute. But there are days when you need to have a little step away. So I think people lie a lot about their marriage. I think people lie about being single, that they're okay with it. But the truth of the matter is, I was never okay with it. I was born to be in a relationship. It's who I am fundamentally. And I didn't like being out of a relationship. And I'm so grateful that I'm currently in one.
Keeping it real again.
Yes.
So you were just talking about, if you're single, you think, I want to be single. I'm good with that. Do you think sometimes women or men, they want to keep going with what they're doing, hang out with their friends and do the stuff, and they meet somebody and they think, oh no, if I get too close to this person, I'm going to let my single people down?
No, I'm just
saying I've kind of done that.
No, I think we're all guilty of it, but I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can have a partner, a husband, a wife, and be in a totally committed relationship. And I know for a fact that men sometimes want to go have fast food together or go watch sports together or whatever. And they should be able to do that with their friends. They don't do everything with their wives. They race cars and ride their motorcycles and do various things. And women want to spa and shop and do what we do. So I think we're capable of doing both, but I think we tell ourselves that lie because then we can justify it. I do think some people are single because they're selfish and they're just not willing to share their lives with other people. Yeah. I think that's one side of it. But I think at the end of the day, for the most part, most of us want partnership collaboration. You want someone that understands you, who gets your vibe, and somebody that you can talk to So the other thing I think in my case, and most of these relate to me, is we lie about our dysfunction in our families. We try, I'll say to my friends, how are your children? Oh, my son is doing so well and my daughter's doing so well and blah, blah, blah. Well, I happen to know for a fact, because I'm often in touch with your children, that things are not so fabulous and wonderful. And I think we try to pretend like the dysfunction in our families don't work. And that's why I love all the comedies when they bring families together for like Christmas. And then you see all the dysfunction of who hates who. And there's a good movie called This Is Where I Leave You. And I think it has Jane Fonda in it and the guy who created Ozark. What's the lead guy? I forget his name. Anyway, it's really interesting about what happens when a family comes home to sit Shiva because the father has died. It was a Jewish family. And the dysfunction between the brothers and the sister and the mother and the across the street neighbor. And it's just interesting. So we have some dysfunctional families. We need to own them. We love them, but they are, crazy sometimes, as are we. And then I think we have some lies we tell ourselves about our friends. We want to call everybody a friend. Everybody's not your friend. Some people are acquaintances.
Yes, that is so true, because being About Town Deb and social media, people go, oh my gosh, you have like all these friends on Facebook. I'm like, they're acquaintances, they're business acquaintances. They're somebody I may have met once or twice, but we had a connection. Yeah. And honestly, at the end of the day, I looking back, with all the people I know, I probably have 10, 20 that are close enough where I could say, hey, I'm having a bad day, or they'll randomly call me up, or we'll go have lunch. But that's okay, because I love having tons of acquaintances and people that I love to connect with each other. So I love that I have that range of people.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I have my private group, my friends that I've known forever in my core. And I think that's really important, because the whole world doesn't need to know everything.
Correct.
And I've also realized, you don't have to like everybody.
Well, you don't, and you can't, and
you just be polite. You just like, hey, great to see you.
I think to me, a friend, I would define it as somebody that would, your family, you're just born into. You have to accept all those people. You didn't pick them. They're just part of what came from mom and dad and all the relatives, the elders. But your friends are people that you would probably be connected to at a family level. You know what I'm saying? So, I consider all my close, dear friends, all the females, they're my sisters. They're my these are the people you can tell anything to. You can have a bad day. You can make that ugly cry face. They're not going to judge you. You're fat, you're slim, you're happy, you're sad. They're with you come do or die. And you also know a friend is a friend because there's longevity involved. Yeah. It's not this sporadic, I'm your friend for 2 years, and now I feel like I got to stick up myself. And so I'm not going to be your friend because you said or did something I didn't like, which is so childish. Good riddance to all those people. But can you tell I'm thinking about somebody in particular? The other thing we lie about is our finances. People want to like sparkle and be showy. They know they're in a lot of debt. You're not fooling anybody. You got to pay for whatever it is. So I think people lie about their finances. They got a boat and a couple of jet skis and a motorhome. And you're thinking, how in the hell are they doing that, right? When they're like, how is that even possible? But they're probably in a lot of debt. So people just want to pretend that they're more than what they are. And you shouldn't have to do that. Just be real, keep it real, and live in your means and be happy, and stop trying to be something that you're not. Just be authentic. And in your finances, it's a lot of pressure, because when the economy goes south, one of the primary reasons people argue in a marriage is about money.
Money, yeah.
And it's usually because you've got debt that you probably shouldn't have. And, there are some people who believe that if you can't afford to pay cash for it, you shouldn't buy it. Because if you got to buy it on credit, then what happens if you lose your job? What happens if your finances change or your circumstance? So, we've all done it. It's nothing to be proud of, but these are some of the ugly things that happen in life. And the other thing that I lie to myself about a lot is fitness. Like, oh yeah, it's a new year. I'm going to join the St. Mary's Executive Fitness Club. I'm going to go walk the indoor track, and I'm going to eat salads and only drink 2 protein shakes. And, 3 days into January, I got a hot dog from Costco, right, in a bag of chips, right? Hello. And who cannot eat a hot dog at Costco? It's $1.50 and it tastes really good.
I know.
And it's actually kosher. Come on, people. It's a healthy hot dog. So, so I'm always like, oh, yeah, okay. And then the minute you have a pain, you're like, ooh, ooh, I got to start working out and I got to start elongating my muscles and I got to do this. And that lasts for about a week. So we got to stop lying about fitness. Find something you can truly consistently do and do that consistently and stop saying that, which is what we do every January. Everybody in America goes out and joins a club. And by February 2nd, nobody's even at the club, right? So
That's
it's just
true.
stop lying about your money, your family, your health, your dysfunction, your single status, your okay marriage that you want to say is so fabulous, and your weight. Stop lying about it. Just be real and be authentic. It is what it is.
And it's just fine the way it is.
It is. I mean,
You
just
accept
be happy.
yourself and love yourself.
Accept yourself. Take all that pressure off.
Take the pressure off.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I don't want to forget the pressure's on. Grandma B, Aunt Ellie. I make sure I give you a shout out. Oh, you know what? We don't have a lot of time, but this is what my gift to Grandma B was. She has a hard time carrying groceries because she's, older and tiny and taking the bus in LA. So we signed her up. I signed her up for Instacart at Ralph's, and it's so cute. And so she calls me, hello, I know you're listening. And so if we're not sure what the item is, I do a screenshot and I send it to her. She goes, yep, that's the right one. Put it in a little cart. And so they deliver it to her door. And I got to tell you, you're not going to care. I'm going to share this. We have 2 minutes. So she said, oh my gosh, I had bottled water for the first time.
Oh, God bless
because she couldn't carry it up. So I just got to say, Instacart people, delivery people, please know that by you doing that job, you're helping a senior citizen, you're helping somebody maybe disabled. They can't go do this.
Yes.
And for her to say, it's the first time I had bottled water is a big deal.
Yes.
And she was so excited now. So I'm honored that I get to do that. So it's almost time.
I have a really quick thing to say. I'm into bottled water. I'm a water snob. And my newest water that I found at Whole Foods, I don't know the name of it, but it's from the Carpathian Mountains.
Don't even know where that is.
Okay, so if you ever read the book Dracula, you'd know about the Carpathian Mountains.
Too scary.
It's a range of mountains in Europe somewhere.
Okay, well, I think it's almost time.
Important.
So I'm going to say thank you.
Thank you. By when we're having fun?
I know. And next week it's going to be Keeping It Real with Amber Hale. And I'm going to let her pick some fun topics and we're going to just keep it real too. But I am so happy for you. And I'm happy for anybody out there who has that love that just showed up at their door. Embrace it, love it, learn it. Be you, be happy, and just know together we're one heart. And Yvonne, you're amazing and I love you.
I love you. Thank you.
So we'll see you next week. Bye.